Hello, this is a review for Yankee Candle's Thin Mint candle, and actually it's the second Thin Mint candle review I've done. You could call it a part two, or perhaps a revised version of my overall reviews of this particular scent from Yankee Candle. And I started purchasing these Girl Scout cookie candles a couple of years ago at least. When they came out, I was really impressed with the whole line on cold sniff. If you've seen my reviews on these candles, they were not overly great reviews, and I had purchased a lot of these though, and I had taken some of them back when I realized I wasn't too happy with the fragrance and the throw and whatnot, but I did not take them all back. Added to that, last year when I went to the semi-annual sale, I saw these on the table and they were marked way down again to 75% off. I didn't think I wanted to buy them, but I smelled them again and they smelled amazing. I think around that same time, I had heard someone do a review on a candle, and as many of you know, it's ongoing. It's an ongoing discussion about the throw of Yankee Candles fragrances when you're burning them in your living spaces, and it's just tricky because sometimes you think it's going to smell, and you're going. I know for me anyway. I'll speak for myself. When I buy these candles, I buy them so that I can smell them when I burn them. There is an amount of an ambiance factor that I love to see the flame and enjoy that, but really, it is about smelling the candle. And so for $27.99, people are willing to part with money to get that effect in their houses or apartment, a condo, whatever. Wherever you live, a lot of people that like these candles are buying them also for the fragrance. Some might buy for the color or for the flame and those effect, but I think it's mostly for the fragrance. So when we're let down by that, it's a little bit disheartening, and you gotta kind of ask yourself some questions. So, as stated before in my prior review of this very same candle, I was not overly impressed with it. My husband doesn't like these candles even now. He claims he doesn't like them, but it's interesting. I'll explain why I wanted to do a follow-up review. When I smell Thin Mint cookies in general, they smell great. When I smell this candle on cold, it smells pretty much just like a Thin Mint cookie candle. Cookie. And so at the last semi-annual sale, when I bought several of these, I was willing to give that 2016 pour a try. That's what I was getting around to say, is that I had heard someone say that perhaps 2016 pours were kind of having a better throw with some of those. And so my thought was, if it smells as strong on cold, maybe it's going to be a good candle. Maybe I could give it a try. What does it hurt? I could save my receipts, I could take them back, and and all that. Well, I'm happy to say that over the last several burns, I've really grown to love these candles. I started burning these up to kind of get through them. I didn't think I'd probably ever really buy the Girl Scout cookie candles again in the future, but in the meantime, I still had some on hand and I wanted to get through them. So I kind of burned it as a candle to have going in the evenings, in the bathroom, maybe just to relax with, that kind of a candle, right? Well, I would go about my evenings walking around, doing my thing. I'd come back into the restroom area, the bathroom area, in where my closet is, and into my master bedroom, and I could smell it. I could smell this candle. And so I was so pleasantly surprised that I really wanted to share it. Since then, and during that time, I noticed it's really easy just to kind of quickly trim the wick by just kind of like snipping it off. It makes it really easy to not have to grab the wick trimmer from Yankee. That's just another little thing. So here's what's funny. When these candles of mine are gone, I think I'm going to actually miss this thin mint candle. Can you believe that? That is coming pretty full circle all the way back around to kind of changing my view on it. And so that's kind of cool. And I just thought if that might help someone else to give it another shot, it might be worth sharing. So if you've ever been so inclined to even remotely think about trying this candle, I would say give it a shot. It may not be something that you would enjoy, but if you like the smell of chocolate and mint together, like I do, you might be pleasantly surprised. Like I said, I think it could be something having to do with the pour date, which was the 2016 pour date. And that's the only thing that could explain it to me. And I wanted to say one more thing. And if you're like me and you've ever been a little bit disappointed in a candle, have you ever wondered, is it because, like I might ask myself this question. I might say, am I just too used to it? Is it because I'm burning it in my room or where I'm working that I'm just so used to it that my nose isn't smelling it? Like, is it something with me? And then maybe like someone else that were to walk in the house, would they smell it? Would it be just fine for them? And burning these different years, the different candles, makes me think it's not that. I've always had that little bit of hesitation in my mind if that was part of the problem. But I think I was just trying to give the benefit of the doubt. So anyway, as far as the pour on this one, I think the rest of it is all kind of just similar to before. And it's been a pretty clean burn. Actually, that's not bad at all. As you can see, the wax, and I said this before too, that my other review, you can't see the wax pool. It's very rare I have a candle where you cannot see the wax pool, where the liquefied part meets the solid part. And so I don't think, you're not going to see that. The other thing with this one is the label is kind of funky. Let's see. Here you can see that. It's got a little bit of like ripples in that sticker label. But again, when they're on sale for like $6 to $7, that doesn't bother me. So, these labels aren't overly attractive in my opinion, but I do enjoy the larger labels. It may be that over time I'll change my mind about the newer labels, but as of right now, I do like the bigger labels. I'm just used to it. And then, of course, I've got the option, if I don't want to see the label, to turn this around. I just like the older labels. This isn't probably the best video to share that with, though, because this isn't my favorite label in particular. So anyway, that's that. That's my review for Thin Mints Part 2 as a follow-up. I just really wanted to share that because it's just quite a turnaround. And I wanted to say I'm glad, that Yankee is putting the effort in to change up maybe the amounts of oils, the fragrance oils they're putting in. But it's just something I notice. So when they're making decisions at the top and going down from there about that sort of thing, I know there's a cost involved. And as a consumer, I appreciate it. And I'm really thankful. So kind of restores my hope in Yankee Candle, which is they're a company that I've come to love over the years. I've got memories going way, way, way back. And even when I was just dating my husband, we would go into the Yankee store, and it was a real treat to pick out a dozen candles. Do you guys remember those days when if you bought 10, you could get 2 free, and you could put them in that little container? And that was just like quite a bit of fun. Great fun picking out the little samplers. So it just makes me happy. It makes me really glad to know that I don't have to keep looking elsewhere if I have hope in purchasing from Yankee. So thanks again for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.